Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Indie Zone. My name is Kathy. As the docket and the case summary page in the matter styled as Idaho versus Kohberger reveals, there have been many court filings that have been held under seal from public disclosure in the case styled as Idaho versus Kohberger for the more than 2.5 years that case was active up through its closure on July 23rd, 2025. 2 months ago today, Mr. Kohberger stood up in open court and he pled guilty to the 5 charges that he was to stand trial on, commencing on or about August 18th, 2025, which surprised and in some cases, it appears, stunned a lot of people who felt that, at least from what they were able to see of the documents that were public, that there appeared to be doubt that the prosecution would be able to convince a jury beyond a reasonable doubt evidentiary standard of Mr. Kohberger's guilt. After Mr. Kohberger pled guilty, there was a sentencing hearing that occurred on July 23rd, 2025. And after that sentencing hearing, the court entered a judgment of conviction and commitment, sending Mr. Kohberger to the Idaho State Prison, where he has been since July 23rd, 2025, but also notifying him of his appellate rights, his right to obtain an attorney, potentially an appellate attorney, and potentially the costs of any appeal, both of them possibly being paid by the state of Idaho. Day 42 is on or about tomorrow, and as of today, there is no indication that Mr. Kohberger has or intends to file any appeal. However, what also has not appeared on the public docket as of yet is a relevant document to his change of plea, which has been under seal since July 2nd, 2025. We know that because the case summary page tells us that. And this was one of the documents, the Guilty Plea Advisory Form, that the court asked both sides if they had any objection to releasing to the public, as the court did back on August 4th, 2025, when Judge Hippler entered an order asking both sides to proffer either their objections or non-objections to the potential unsealing of 2.5 months of the more than 2.5 years of documents that still remain under seal in this case. If we look at the responses that the state of Idaho and the defense has provided to that court order, and this was filed over 2 weeks ago on August 18th, 2025, we see here that the state and the defense said they had no objections to unsealing of the Guilty Plea Advisory Form completed by Mr. Kohberger himself, July 2nd, 2025. Neither side had an objection to Judge Hippler releasing this document to the public, and yet if you look at the court docket, it's not been released as of yet, as this case continues to largely remain under seal from the public. Could that Guilty Plea Advisory Form contain some information, some clues as to why Mr. Kohberger pled guilty that day, July 2nd, 2025? It is unclear. The public will not know until this form is released. Hopefully, it will be released today, given especially that the deadline for the notice of appeal is looming largely overhead, and that not one piece of paper from this largely sealed case has been unsealed. These are the opinions that I give pursuant to the First Amendment, freedom of speech and of the press. If you have any comments, any opinion, any speculation regarding this matter, please leave them here. Until next time, this is Kathy. Thank you for joining us today.